Without selling, you haven't got a business. It's the, businesses are basically about selling and operations and delivery. That's it. It's very, very simple. Without selling, without getting paid, you can have all the great ideas, you can give things away. Without selling, without creating a sale, without signing a purchase order or a contract, your business is nothing.
Yeah. And if you're new to selling, okay, obviously there's training in the delivery, but what are the kind of essential tips? If you're in front of me, a client who's potentially going to buy your product or service or whatever, how do you interact with me? What do you do? What do you say?
So again, that's a really good question. So I think I've done a lot of consultative-based selling, where a client has a problem. It may be, architects. You go to an architect to have a building design. You go to a shipbuilder to build a ship or a submarine. You've got to really understand what is the client, Bill's the client, what is your problem? Is it to do something? If Bill wants to go into, missile manufacturing, ship manufacturing,
I've often thought about that.
But, what is the requirements? What's the burning, what's the burning platform? What is it that you need to meet your business functions? So I've been involved in a lot of outsourcing, a lot of big IT, business outsourcing, business process deals. All of them have had a need. So I've got to do a specific function. I've got to do a payroll. I've got to do a pensions administration system or whatever. Or I've got to provide, driving licenses for people. There's got to be a basic need. There's got to be a requirement. So the salesman's job is to, at the bigger strategic sense, is to fulfil that need by either delivering the service by yourself or with partners. And again, partner selection. So the deals that I get involved in are very, very, very large. It's not just my company I'm advising. They have to bring in partner organisations. They may need some IT partners. They may need some business outsourcers. They need some estates information. So a current job I'm involved with involves antenna design, antenna production and design and delivery and infrastructure. Concrete in the ground. So there's buildings, there's kit, there's infrastructure. So there's a variety of services that make the total solution, what we call the end-to-end solution. But it's all about what does the client want. Is it competitive? So again, there's selling. Sometimes you can sell on the basis that only that clients come to you. You want to just sell one-to-one or whatever. Often it's actually very competitive. And in public sector, the place I work, it's very, very competitive. It has to go out by law under EU regulations. We have to go to a formal procurement, which can take between a year and 18 months to buy things. So, I know at Bangor we've got a good business school and economics school. That Dermot and the professors down there, they teach this stuff. But in real life, procurement can take an awful long time.
Yeah. Also, one of the interesting challenges of selling, I think, is that so a lot of the clients that I work for who are making products have to sell their product twice, or have to create a product that can be sold twice. So it's got to be a product that can be sold to the end consumer, but then they also have to sell it to the people who will finally sell it to the end consumer. So if you're making ping pong balls and you want to sell them to WH Smith to sell to the end consumer, there are two customers there. So you have to always bear in mind everyone in that pipeline, there's that word again, that pipeline to the route to market, as we call it.
On some of the bigger deals, Bill, there's another third party, and that is, if I'm selling on behalf of a company, you've got to convince the board of your own company that the sale is worth doing. So that we've got the Bill's talked about the external sales. So I'm selling to. There's an internal sale to be done, and this, in a lot of the work that I get personally involved in, there's an internal sell with it to the board that I'm working for to say this is a good deal. This is why it's going to produce this much money, this sort of profit, this sort of longevity, provenance, whatever it is. So there are, in fact, can be three sales in what's ostensibly one product or one service.
And in that internal sales situation, often what it'll be, you'll have won someone over in the business, sort of middle to senior ranking manager, and he or she has got to then convince the board to release money to spend on what you're offering. So you then have to give that individual the tools to do that internal sales job. You can't just take it for granted that it will happen.
Absolutely not. And selling is an art. It's special skills. We talked a little bit about division of responsibilities earlier on in some of the conversations we've had. Some people make better salesmen. Some people make better program managers. Some people make more operational. So what I call divisional chief operating officers. The salesman tends to be the more extrovert. Tends to be the slightly more gregarious type of individuals. Not all entrepreneurs are good salesmen.
No, not
Branson is a good example of being both an entrepreneur and an extrovert. Luke Johnson and a few others. But actually, I have seen as many entrepreneurs who are out there who aren't themselves salesmen, but who actually go and get good number ones, good number twos, good number threes to do the sales for them, because they're more strategic, they're more cerebral. But you can't get anywhere without good sales. Likewise, with operations, you need good operations, delivery people, and you need a finance function or a business function, CIOs, CTOs. When you're really big, you can have all sorts of boards and things like that. But in the first instance, when you're just starting off, if it's just you, you are the salesman. You are the ambassador, you're the marketeer, you're the business developer. So start to learn how to sell and work out what the client really, really wants.